Hello, hello. Today we have interesting energies. There's a lot going on cosmically. And today, what I got that we should actually do is play the opposite. Play with the opposite energies and do a very calming like it's almost like a portal crossing, but it's like the doors right now are aligned for a quantum leap because of all the conjunctions with Venus and Mars and everything. So we can intentionally move up the scale, and we can literally jump an octave right now. I don't think I've ever actually talked about how the universe is musical and how we have been moving by thirds and fifths. And this time we're able to move a full octave. And if you know the piano, it's like going from a low or middle C to a high C, right? And we're able to start accessing our magic much more easily and much more fluidly. And if we choose the path of soothing our nervous system, remaining calm, we can move through the fiery situations that are getting presented. There's a lot of solar flares. There's a lot of fire happening, right? There's a lot of Aries fire energy. And so there's a lot of power involved in that. But the way to access and harness that power is through being calm. So instead of just beating the fire, because it can get out of control, we're going to go into our calm, safe space, and from there, access the power of the fire. Like connecting at a deeper level. So there's no chance of this fire raging out of control. And by that, I mean losing our temper, getting thrown off, getting hurt by other people, getting into arguments and things like that. We're going to be able to more and more allow anything that is said to us to just flow right past us and not take it personally and not get in the defensive mode and not feel attacked, because we begin to see that whatever people are doing is their issue and they're just throwing it at us so that we can mirror it back to them and they can resolve it. But we can resign. We've been talking a lot about resigning our jobs that we have taken on without anyone assigning us, or filling in the shoes of a job that someone's expecting you to do, right? And the way to illustrate this is a story comes to mind. When I used to have, when I got divorced, I was taken to this center for abused women. I had, like, my mom and my cousin did an intervention on me and took me to a therapist. And this therapist was my therapist for about 2 years and got me through really difficult, challenging times. And the only reason I stayed is because she was doing EFT tapping, and I was already into tapping and giving sessions. So because she was open to stuff like that, I stayed, and we worked through a lot with energy work. Then in the 2 years, she found out what I was doing, and she's like, I want to be a part of this. And she left the center where she was working, and she's like, I want to partner with you doing this. And I organized a retreat, a 1-day, full day retreat. And she's like, okay, we're going to work together. I'm like, okay, you can come in with us, but you have to understand that all my numbers are open, like when we get the money, and I have a formula. And we're not going to just take all the money and just split it 3 ways with O'Neill. It's like we're going to get a profit, which is only 15%. And then the other 85%, we're going to use it for investment, for putting it back, for recovering our costs, for paying the venue. It's like whatever everything costs. So the profit is this. We keep some so that we can grow the business. And this is the formula. She's like, oh, that's great, la, la, la. One day she's driving me around looking for some material. And when she picks me up, shh, lie down. Lie down. When she picks me up, she says, every partner that I've ever partnered with has taken advantage of me and has ripped me off. And in that moment, I felt it in my whole being that she was going to somehow find a way to tell me that I ripped her off. And that's exactly what happened in the end. She's like, I can't believe you're taking all this money. And I'm like, we're building a business. I told you from the beginning. And I said, and I'm not going to be that person. So finally, because I realized what was happening, I said, I am not going to fill in the shoes for those partners that you're missing so that you can feel victimized, because you have done nothing. The only thing she did was brought lavender sprigs to the retreat. It was O'Neill, actually Noelle and her boyfriend at the time did more work because they checked everybody in and they were just amazing. And Noelle wouldn't take any money. And then I had to give the money that I would have given these kids to this woman just so she would shut up. So where do we fill in roles that people are expecting us to fill in because somebody that was doing that has gone and there's a space and they're like, now you're going to be the one that's going to torture me, right? When my abusive, emotionally abusive relationship ended with my ex, it was very interesting. And I was very keenly aware of what was happening. My agent took the place of my ex and did something really abusive to me. And I could see, I'm like, oh, you're taking the place of my husband, but I don't have abuse in my life any longer. So I quit the agency. I just my contract was up and I left that agency. And I was like, nope, I'm not having abuse in my life anymore. And so now I don't hire anyone to abuse me because there's no more, I've chosen to not have any more abuse in my life. Right? So what are things or people that show up in your life that you have hired to do the job that somebody else was doing, or that space or that energy that you've had in your life? Like, have you experienced abuse? Have you experienced someone being unfair to you? Have you experienced feeling jealousy or envy? Right? And are you feeling it towards someone now? Or have you experienced lack of love or care or nurturing? Right? And there's people showing up in your life showing you that pattern. So it's just someone mirroring back to you that thing that you have a choice. And it's interesting because you don't even have to heal it. You know, we get so caught up in having to heal things. And I think that a lot of the times it's so much easier. I've experienced because I've done it all. I've been at this for very long, right? And I've done the recapitulation where I relived my entire life. Like I had a notebook for each year of my life. And I went to like, okay, well, what do I remember happened in January when I was 3 years old? I've gone through deep meditations and worked on it for months and months on end. Going through, okay, this teacher yelled at me when I took the fish out of the fish tank, and they yelled at me because I was eating clovers from the like picking them up and eating clovers that had dirt on them. But the stem of the clover is very tart and it tastes really good. And we would sit there and eat the stems and eat the clovers. And so I got yelled at for eating clovers, and I got yelled at for doing that. And it's like, oh, well, let me forgive my kindergarten teacher for yelling at me for eating clovers. And it's like, we don't need to do that. Stop it. We don't need to relive every situation. We can just to let it go. Like, I had abuse in my life. I had a lot of criticism. I've had a lot of judgment in my life. Okay, I'm done with it. Thank you. It's as easy as I am done, but it has to come from here, because you can do it from here and it's not going to go. It's like, yeah, I decided to have no, and then chances are we're going to attract more of it, because what we resist, we persist. But when we do a release from in here somewhere, I don't know where it is in you. For me, it's in here, right? I'm just like, it's gone. And then it's over. It's really over, because I decided. It's like, no more of that. I don't need that anymore. I'm done. Instead of, oh, I'm experiencing abuse. La la la. Like the other day, I went to the supermarket here, and there was a couple, an older couple, but it turned out we crossed paths about 3 times. And then I was at the deli, and they show up. And then the guy looks at me and he goes, let's go. I can't. This woman is annoying me. And I just looked, and I was going to go after him and rip into him. And I was like, this poor guy. I felt so bad. I'm like, he's probably been put away for 2 years. And he's just starting to come out, and anything will annoy him. And I felt sorry for him. Normally, I would have chased after him. I would have confronted him. I would start yelling at him, and I would have made a stink. And I would have said some really hurtful things to him, because he would have started telling me, and I would have like, oh, no, you're not. And I was just like, oh, that poor little man. And then I just laughed for the first time, instead of having a confrontation with someone. I'm like, I cannot be bothered. I cannot care less about his annoyance. Right? And then I just released it. And then afterwards, I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that I chose not to have a fight. Because my first instinct is, somebody's going to attack. If somebody attacks me, I'm not going to let him. I'm going to defend myself, and I'm going to go after that person. And I'm going to obliterate them. And I will say words that they will take to their graves with them, because it's like, oh, I am the queen. Like, I had so much practice with my ex to be fast. Like, when someone tells me something, I will have a comeback usually very, very fast and very, very vicious. And I'm a dragon in Chinese astrology, so I spit fire. And I was like, no, I am not going to let this man rattle me and take me out of my peaceful place. When I'm getting, you know, a little cheese from, and some raspberries and some mango from my grandbaby. You can go fly a kite. So notice, take this new moon cycle to notice where you get taken off track, where someone, where you give your power to someone and allow yourself to be taken off course and waste time dealing with those emotions that are just like you could, with practice, ignore and just not let that bother you anymore, right? What are things that you know you are on automatic? Like on the street, if you're driving, if somebody cuts you off, do you curse them out? Like, I am an expert at that. It's like, somebody cuts me off, I'm gonna be like, ah! Like sometimes I'll get like some idiot cut in front of me, and I'm like, I've decided already he's an idiot. I decided some idiot cut in front of me, right? So I've made a decision that this guy's an idiot. What if they didn't see me? What if their wife is giving birth and they're trying to get to the hospital? What if their kid fell and the school called them and they need to get home? They didn't even see me. They don't care about me. Nobody's out there trying to screw me over. They don't even know who I am. If we met, we probably like each other, right? And we make such quick decisions on people because of the environment that we're placed in. So where could we create a space for a new way of looking at things, where that aggression or the envy, like, have you ever seen someone drive by or you're at a restaurant and somebody arrives in this Bentley or a Ferrari? Is your first thought, that's awesome that they could do that? How awesome that they can have a Ferrari? Or is your first thought, oh, I wonder if they're drug dealers, or I wonder what they did to get that? Or is that woman, if it's a woman, it's usually, oh, she probably has a sugar daddy, or something like that, right? Those are the thoughts that come to us because of the programming. So what if we could just break that and create the space for growth, for opening, for love to happen, for compassion? Like, I didn't really feel sorry for them, and I felt like bad. I'm like, wow, that my greatness would annoy someone. And all I thought was that video. It's like, you don't get annoyed. I don't annoy you. You are just, you just can't deal with my power. That stuff on TikTok, there's this video, I can't remember what the saint is, but I just remember that woman. I'm like, I'm not annoying you. You just can't handle my greatness. Right? So what if we turn it around and make it a fun thing? Okay, so today we're going straight into the calmness, and we're going to access the essence of the fire as opposed to the flame and getting burnt. So tonight it's all about soothing, relaxing the nervous system, and giving ourselves an energetic, like a sound, soothing to our, hey, Sarah, soothing our nervous system. We're literally just going to give ourselves an energetic massage to our nervous system so that we can create that openness and that space for peace, for calm, for us to be able to access our prefrontal cortex and think instead of reacting like a, primal being, just defending ourselves. There's nothing to defend ourselves from. So go ahead and take a deep breath. Inhale. And let it all go. Everything that's happened up to right this minute, let it all go. Feel if you have any tension in your stomach. Are you, nervous? Have you felt like you're stifled in speaking your truth? Your throat might be tight. Your heart must, what if it feels like you're lonely? Like you're not experiencing love, like you're being judged? Where are you feeling any kind of upsetness or feeling misunderstood or any tightness? Do a quick scan. And then remember to look at your third eye. And open that channel, do a sweeping motion up to your crown. And then just sweep across the back of your head. Bring that ball of thoughts into your heart center. And then bring it down, pull it down into your root, allowing it to ground itself, to get yourself completely grounded in your power. thoughts have taken over, bring them back down and ground. You need to start feeling the soles of your feet connecting to the earth. And if you're able to carry on sleeping, just go ahead. I tell you, if it's not one dog, it's another. And if you're going to come back, go ahead and start wiggling your toes. I have such power with dogs that I tell them to be quiet and they're just louder. Wiggle your toes. Start to feel good. If there's any remaining tension, make a decision to let it go. Don't look at it on the way out. Just let it go. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths. Connect intentionally to your nervous system. And feel how soothed it is, how calm it is. Do a little shake, do a little stretch. Place yourself in a white bubble of protection this evening. And when you're ready, come back.